Welcome to our California Real Estate Exam Prep video series. We'll give you 20 daily practice questions for the next 100 days with detailed answers to help you pass the exam and get your license. If you like our videos, please like and subscribe. Let's start now. 1. Some lenders establish reserve or impound accounts when people borrow money. Included within those accounts are borrower's funds, which are held to assure payment for all of the following recurring items, except A. Monthly interest on mortgage. B. Homeowner's insurance. C. City/county property taxes. D. Special improvement annual assessments. Answer A. The impound account money is not used to pay the interest on the mortgage. Two, you, as a salesperson, have a listing on a home for $31,000. The seller is willing to carry back a note and second trust deed. You find a buyer who has $4,000 cash and wants an FHA loan. You obtain a $24,000 FHA loan commitment. You should A. Write up an offer of $31,000 subject to financing. B. Write an offer of $31,000 subject to purchaser obtaining a $31,000 FHA loan and executing a personal note to the seller for $3,000. C. Write up an offer of $31,000 subject to the purchaser giving a $3,000 note payable to the seller secured by a second trust deed. D. Refuse to arrange a second trust deed over the FHA insured loan. Answer D. No secondary financing is permitted when purchasing the home under the FHA program. Three. Thompson purchased a home in which he expects to live. As a part of the purchase price, he contracted for a first mortgage with a Federal Savings and Loan Association. Under the provisions of the Federal Truth in Lending Act, he may A. Have the right to cancel because the mortgage creates a lien against his property. B. Not cancel because a federal savings and loan is exempt from the Act. C. Cancel because all real estate loans are entitled to certain cancellation rights under the Act. D. Not cancel because a first mortgage to finance the purchase of his home carries no right to cancel. Answer D. 4. If a seller's agent in a real property sale transaction pays part of his commission to the buyer of property, the agent A. Must inform the seller that he is doing so. B. Is subject to criminal penalties. C. Is always subject to disciplinary action by the real estate commissioner. D. May be subject to all of the above. Answer A. If there is any commission rebate to the buyer in a transaction, that fact must be disclosed by the agent to the seller. The agent would not be subject to disciplinary action or criminal penalties if such full disclosure were made. Five. An appraiser is appraising an income property. When selecting a rate of return, he knows that the higher the rate used, the greater is the implied A. Value. B. Appreciation. C. Risk. D. Income. Answer C. The greater the risk, the higher the rate. 6. An owner of a parcel of real property gave his neighbor a deed conveying an easement for ingress and egress. The easement was not specifically located in the deed. The neighbor's right to use the easement is A. Enforceable because the location of an easement need not be specified. B. Enforceable only if the easement is an easement in gross. C. Unenforceable due to the lack of a specific location. D. Unenforceable because easements are created by written agreements, never by deed. Answer A. The specific location of an easement is not required for its validity. Mr. Jonathan is building an 8-unit apartment and is financing the construction through a local mortgage company. The terms of financing provide that funds are to be released to him at various stages of construction. Under the terms, the monies released would be referred to as A. Site drafts. B. Obligatory advances. C. Acceleration payments. D. Mechanics lien. Answer B. Under the financing terms, the lender is bound or obligated to release funds according to the contract. The monetary tools used by the Federal Reserve System, the Fed, to control the supply of money within the United States would include all of the following except A. Lowering or raising interest rates on government-insured mortgages. B. Increasing or decreasing legal reserve requirements. C. Expanding open market operations by buying and selling U.S. government securities. D. Raising or lowering the discount rates to the member banks. Answer A. The Federal Reserve Board, the Fed, does not have authority to increase or lower interest rates on government-insured mortgages such as FHA, VA. A developer used the same plans to build houses on several different lots throughout a large subdivision. Each house is priced the same. If only the information given below were available, the purchaser, who is well informed about real estate matters, would prefer a home located A. On a key lot. B. Near the center of the subdivision. C. Near an access road. D. Across the street from a new shopping center. Answer B. Answers C and D would have excess traffic as a disadvantage. Answer A indicates a lot whose front yard is next to another lot's backyard. In the income approach to value, capitalization rate most nearly means A. Fair or economic appraisal constant. B. Final value conclusion. C. Present worth factor. D. Land residual process factor. Answer C. A capitalization rate is the factor used to determine the present worth of future benefits, income. One of the main purposes of a trust fund account is A. To assure delivery of cash. B. So the bank will be responsible for an embezzlement. C. So the money won't be tied up in case of court action against the broker. D. Both A and B above. Answer C. A trust account protects the money of others from an attachment lien against the broker. 12. The vacancy rate in an apartment building is basically the result of A. The cost of money. B. The size of the apartment building. C. Supply and demand. D. The amount of money in deposits in savings and loan associations. Answer: C. Supply and demand determine the vacancy factor in apartment buildings. 13. A broker, who was selling vacant lots in a new, but slowly developing, commercial subdivision, told a prospective buyer, "Buy this lot now, it is a gold mine. I guarantee you can sell it for 4 times the purchase price in 2 years." The prospective buyer purchased the lot and 4 years later, found that he could not sell it for the purchase price because the broker was still selling similar lots for less than the original purchase price. The broker A. may be subject to civil penalties as well as disciplinary action by the real estate commissioner. B. was simply puffing the value of the property and is subject only to discipline by the real estate commissioner. C. cannot be held accountable because the statute of limitations has run. D. is not liable for his statement because real estate is speculative. Answer: A. The real estate commissioner could discipline the broker for false promise. The buyer could bring civil suit to recover the loss. 14. When using the market data approach to value the adjusted sales price of a comparable property. A. bears a fixed relationship to market value. B. is an estimate of the probable selling price when adjusted by the characteristics of the subject property. C. is produced by the interaction of buyers and sellers in the real estate market. D. is the best way to find the final value estimate. Answer: B. By definition. 15. Within 1 month after closing of a transaction, a real estate broker handling a transaction shall cause the information to be given to both the seller and the purchaser in writing as to A. name, address, and license number of the escrow company. B. the exact amount of the licensee's compensation. C. the exact amount of the sale price. D. all of the above. Answer: C. The law does not require the use of an escrow company, and the licensee's compensation is a matter of concern only to the licensee and his client. He must, however, inform both the seller and the purchaser of the exact amount of the sale price. 16. A broker is obligated by law to keep a copy of the deposit receipt for a minimum of 3 years from the date of A. the first date on the deposit receipt. B. from the closing of the transaction. C. the recording of the deed. D. whichever of the above is earliest. Answer: B. The requirement for record retention is as of the date of the closing of the transaction. 17. Broker Smart represents the owner of a large tract of new homes and hires attractive young women to act as hostesses at the model homes, paying them a fixed weekly salary. The hostesses are permitted to quote prices and financing from the brochure, do their best to get callers interested, but do not write up any offers or sign any documents. Interested buyers are turned over to a regular salesperson to write up the necessary deposit receipt contract. A. The type of duties performed by the hostesses would require a real estate license. B. A real estate license is never required when an individual is paid a fixed weekly salary. C. A real estate license is not required for the hostesses since they are only quoting prices. D. No one employed by a broker on a subdivision tract need have a real estate license. Answer A. Anyone acting in the capacity of a real estate agent must have a real estate license. The showing of property, quoting of prices, and discussion of financing are acts of a real estate agent. A fixed weekly salary is considered the equivalent of a commission. Which of the following refers to an estate of inheritance or perpetual estate? A. Fee simple defeasible. B. Estates in fee. C. Non-freehold estates. D. Life estates. Answer B. Estates in fee refer to fee simple estates, which are estates of inheritance or perpetual estates. A bilateral contract involves A. An act for a promise. B. A promise for an act. C. A promise for performance of an act. D. A promise for a promise. Answer D. A promise for an act would be a unilateral contract. A promise for a promise would be a bilateral or two-party contract. A percentage lease indicates that rent is based as a percentage of A. The net sales of the lessee's business. B. The increased assets of the lessee's business. C. The gross sales of the lessee's business. D. The income from the business subject to federal tax. Answer C. The gross sales of the business are the basis for computing percentage rent. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel so you don't miss out on our future videos. We look forward to seeing you in the next one.